Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody which doesn't infringe a copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Ringo TV.
Welcome. We back. Ringo TV reactions. We're dealing with Quavo's blood sacrifice against TAKEOFF. Allegedly. And we got to really focus on this one because it's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. And I know my title is messed up. We'll fix that later on. We're having a lot of technical difficulties I've been having all night. But this one here, we're going to go into a lot of details, a lot of different issues. Let me fix the title since I'm here. That's interesting. Even the thumbnail changed up. But I'll do that while I'm talking to you. Let me fix this up real quick. Imagine that I'm fixing my thumbnail and my title while streaming live. It's amazing. But anyway, as I fix this title, I'll just pretty much break down what we're going to be talking about. We're dealing with the plot. The alleged plot that pretty much was happening or took place against TAKEOFF. And pretty much everything is alleged. At the same time, the facts will be in the videos. It'll be inside the receipts. There will be no mistaking that. I'm trying to remember exactly what my title was. It was Migos, TAKEOFF. Migos, TAKEOFF, blood sacrifice. Migos, TAKEOFF, blood sacrifice by Quavo and J. Prince Jr. There you go. Folks think that streaming live is easy. No, it's not. So let's get ready. Title is good. Thumbnail is back. Look like we back in business. Sound is good. Everything okay? Put a 1 in the chat if the sound is good. But we don't want to have the same mistakes again. So if it's good, let me know, so we can get down to business. Everything's good? Okay. Let's get into this. Migos, TAKEOFF, blood sacrifice by Quavo and J. Prince Jr. Allegedly.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
What that is, Jazz? What that is right here? Little something. OG Mike. Hey man, you know what we do. Don't never stop, man. We outside, man. You
see, the plot is real. When you have a cameraman in the car on the night of the murder, the plot goes deep, and we must pay attention to all the clues. We must consider everything. The plot, the alleged blood sacrifice. It didn't start that night. No, it didn't. It was planned. Yeah, that's right. It was planned months ago. Oh, yeah. It definitely was planned. You see, a lot of people, when they see artists and rappers, they think that everybody's just happy and everybody's cool. But things are not always as they seem. It's not. This is a very, very serious issue. And it's something that we have to consider. So pay attention and understand that we're going to go on a journey. Pay attention. Let's go.
hear me, man. Hear me, man. Hear me, man. Take.
You see, TAKEOFF was high, very, very high, to the point where he was out of his mind. He had no clue where he was. He was completely comfortable. The perfect opportunity to strike. That's right. You see, before you go, before you check out, before they delete you, before the rituals take place, they have to get you comfortable. They have to prepare the body. They have to make you not feel much pain at all. You know, when you are butchering animals and doing so and so forth, there's a certain way you have to do things. You can't be cruel. So they get the person high, drunk, so that it could be quick. So the person have no clue that they are being sacrificed, allegedly. You see, TAKEOFF had no idea what was coming. He thought he was in good hands, but no. Let's proceed.
Oh. Doing it, man. Hear me, man. Take. Oh. Hear me, man. Take. Oh.
See, they called him Take. They didn't say take off. Take the drugs. Take the drink. Take the bait. Yeah. Take the bait. Imagine you're being plotted against and you don't even know. All the people that are around you, you think that they're cool with you, but they're not. You think they're all friends. You figure I'm with my uncle, so I know I'm safe, not realizing that you're the meal. You're going on the altar to be sacrificed. For fortune and fame, somebody got to be sacrificed. And see, in our last stream, we read the letter from Quavo, which shows that he's very ambitious. Very, very ambitious. One that don't like to lose. Oh yeah. This is very, very interesting, to say the least. Let's go.
As far as the investigation into his death, police are still looking for the shooter, whoever killed him last week outside of a bowling alley in Houston. They say it's been hard to convince any witnesses to come forward.
Wow.
So far, they have not named any suspects or made any arrests.
So they haven't found any suspects or made any arrests. Imagine that. All this time, with all the footage, with all the people that were there. No suspects, no arrests. I wonder how much they paid each of those people to stay quiet. I wonder what's going on. Well, let's continue. It gets very interesting.
Yeah, my boy Tate with me. Yeah, tell him Tate. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my boy Tate with me. Yeah, tell him Tate. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my boy Tate with me. Yeah, tell him Tate.
Remember, I told you 1,000 times that it appears as if though TAKEOFF been kind of out of the loop. Remember I've told you about that? I want you to pay attention to his body language and mannerism. Pay attention.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my boy Tate with me. Yeah, tell him Tate. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my boy Tate with me. Yeah, tell him Tate. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, my boy Tate with me. Yeah, tell him Tate. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my boy Tate with me. Yeah, tell him Tate. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
You see, when the rituals are to be done, they must offer the black sheep. They must offer up a sacrifice that's worthy. And Quavo always been very ambitious and greedy. We saw that in his letter that he wrote on Instagram, the 3-page letter that he made, that he read at the memorial funeral service, which displays his arrogance.
What does that mean to y'all to build this sort of like legacy of that standard of what you guys do?
Pay attention, fam. Because see, the plot starts here. Oh yeah. The plot for the sacrifice starts here. You see, when you look at Quavo, he knows that he got to do something. And see, the Migos have always had a lot of animosity towards one another because there have been a lot of jealousy involved. You see, TAKEOFF have always been the mastermind behind the Migos. And Quavo wanted that spot. And also, Quavo never would allow TAKEOFF to speak. Every time there was an interview, he always had to do all the talking. He wouldn't even allow the brother to speak. And I know it frustrated TAKEOFF every time there's an interview. Quavo would just run his mouth over and over and over again. Let's hear what he said.
You know what I'm saying? We've been doing it for 10 years. It's a blessing.
That's big.
You know, it's time to go even beyond to infinity. You know, it's time to go to the moon.
It's time to go to the moon. Pay attention, fam. It's time to go to the moon, he said.
It's time to go to the moon. It's time to go to the moon. It's time to. You know, that was the breakthrough. You ever seen a rocket, you know, and you're looking at it. You ever seen a rocket, you know, and you're looking at it. You ever seen a rocket, you know, and you're looking at it, looking at it, looking at it.
Wow.
And as it goes.
That's the rocket. That's the rocket right there. Rocket. That's the rocket right there.
That's the rocket right there.
Rocket. That's the rocket right there. Rocket. That's the rocket right there. Rocket. That's the
The rocket foundation. You see, this was plotted a long time ago. Approximately within the span of 3 months, or possibly more. But see, the whole rocket foundation is all a part of the sacrifice. You see, TAKEOFF is the rocket, and his name, TAKEOFF, is a part of the rituals. You see, the truth of the matter is, Quavo and Offset, their plot and their plan has always been to use TAKEOFF as the rocket to get that shuttle off that ground. And as you know, with every shuttle, the rocket is responsible for liftoff. It is responsible for getting them into the atmosphere. And then what happens to the rocket once it reaches a certain level? The rocket separates from the shuttle, falling back into space. And see, at this point, there's no more need for TAKEOFF because they already done took off and reached the level. And this is why the sacrifice must occur. You see, when spacecrafts are launched, the rocket is needed. The rocket is one of the most important parts of liftoff. Do you understand? But it has to separate. The separation of the Migos is a part of the sacrifice. Let's go and listen as we travel through the next dimension of the sacrifice.
rocket right there. Rocket. That's the rocket right there. Rocket. That's the rocket right there.
Do you see TAKEOFF's face? He know at this point that they're plotting. He know at this point that he's the rocket. And if he understand the purpose, he know there's coming a time when they're not going to need him anymore. Because they got to a certain level of money, fame, clout, resources. And see, this is why these rituals come to pass. He knows. He knows that they're plotting. See, even the person that's doing the interview know that the sacrifices must take place. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? It breaks those little parts off and then they keep going in the attic. So it got going straight. We going past.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? We already took you to Jupiter. Now we trying to go to Mars with this shit.
Yeah,
wow.
Man, we can do
or
so
maybe
much
another
more.
galaxy.
Notice how he keeps on cutting off Takeoff. Notice how he keep cutting the man off. He don't even let him speak. And he's been doing this many times. Listen.
Yeah.
You ever travel light years, Elliot?
I love to, Quay.
And as it goes,
That's a rocket. That's a rocket right there.
you know what I'm saying? It breaks those little parts off and then they keep going in the attic. So it got
see
going
that?
straight. We going past.
You see that? Notice the shuttlecraft. You see the shuttle, but then you see the rocket. See, the rocket represents Takeoff. Takeoff is the rocket. But aboard that shuttle is Quavo and Offset. Are you paying attention? See, I had to do a little visual editing to make you understand how serious this is. I need for you to get the vision of what Takeoff's purpose was. His purpose was just to take off. And now he's no longer needed. And that's why the sacrifice takes place. And this happens all the time in the industry. Even their stage names is a part of the sacrifice. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? We already took you to Jupiter. Now we trying to go to Mars with this shit.
Yeah,
They're trying to go to Mars. See, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is called a Stargate. And if you understand anything about a Stargate, it takes you to other dimensions. But see, what you don't know, in this world, there are Stargates. And these people who do these sacrifices and these rituals, they have deals with other entities that you just are unaware of. You don't have no clue who they are, but they're able to come in and out of this world. And if you attended the memorial funeral service, you would know.
Man, we can do
or
so
maybe
much
another
more.
galaxy.
That there was another Stargate introduced.
Yeah.
You ever travel light
Sure.
years, Elliot?
I love to, Quay.
And as it goes,
That's a rocket.
As you can see, at the memorial service, there was another Stargate. You see, the rituals continued even at the memorial site. Allegedly. The pillars, 6 pillars. You see, they do these things right in your face. And this is why they didn't want no cameras. Because they didn't want you to see the truth. And because most of you came to the funeral place with emotions, you're not going to pay attention to the dark side of things. Of course not. But yeah. So while Justin Bieber is doing his thing, the rituals is taking place as they open the portal to offer up the sacrifice. And there's a lot of people that benefit from stuff like this. Let's go.
That's a rocket right there.
you know what I'm saying? It breaks those little parts off and then they keep going in the attic.
Notice what he said. It breaks off those parts and it keeps going up in the air. Well, if Takeoff is the rocket and it breaks off those parts, then that means Takeoff must be sacrificed. While he's sitting there, he knew at that moment there was a plot on his life. Because remember in Quavo's speech, he mentioned that Takeoff is one that listens and he's fully aware of what's going on. So right there, he knows what's happening. He's listening to the subliminal messages of the rockets falling back to Earth. And the shuttle continues to go. So he knew at that moment Quavo had other plans. But he didn't understand how it was going to be done. But he knew. Trust and believe, he knew. Let's go.
Yeah. So we got going straight. We going past.
Do you see that? Do you see the rocket versus the shuttle? See, I had to edit everything so that you can all get a visual understanding of what we're doing here, according to the sacrifice. Takeoff is the rocket. He's responsible for liftoff. Quavo and Offset can't go nowhere without Takeoff, because Takeoff is the mastermind behind the Migos. He is the one who created the flow, put the group together. Remember, Quavo said in his letter that he didn't know what to do with his life. He played in sports, he did other things, and he didn't know what to do. But Takeoff knew, because Takeoff always had the dream of being a rapper. So Takeoff is the one carrying them too. He's the one who's able to have liftoff. Because Quavo and Offset can't get off the ground by themselves. But now they figure in this point in life, they don't need him no more. And this is why Offset was bought out of his contract. Yeah. He got up out of there just in time because he knew what was coming down the pipeline. But see, Offset and Quavo eventually will come back together. Oh yeah, because the sacrifice was made so that they can come back together, because they felt that they didn't need Takeoff anymore, allegedly. And this is what happened when men are ambitious and full of greed and pride. They'll sell their own brothers. Let's get back into the video.
Then we already took you to Jupiter. Now we trying to go to Mars with this shit.
Yeah, just mean we can do so
maybe
much
another
more.
galaxy.
Yeah.
You ever
right.
travel
Sure.
light years, Elliot?
He said, have you ever traveled light years? How is it that Quavo know about that? Because see, Quavo understand the rituals. He understands. He's seen the director's couch. He looked behind the curtain. He knows about the sacrifices. They taught him well. That's right. Let's go.
They know I geek a lot. They don't know I keep a Glock.
Now notice that in this particular song, Takeoff said they know I geek a lot. In other words, they know I geek a lot. They know I geek a lot, but he keeps a Glock.
Ain't been no drought. Where they think I've been sleep a lot.
They think I've been sleep a lot.
They think I'm dumb.
They think I'm dumb.
They don't know I see the plot.
They don't know I see the plot. You see that? Takeoff understands that there's a plot against him. And he puts subliminal messages in songs that you folks just think is little raps here and there, but no. A lot of rappers know that there's a target on them, but there's nowhere for them to go because they're in that industry. And he knew what was going down. They think that I sleep a lot. He's basically letting them know. He's letting everybody know. I know what y'all doing. I know I got a due date. See, everybody in the industry know they got a due date. Trust and believe. TAKEOFF was under a lot of stress in the industry. He was under a lot of stress. Y'all see the glitz, the glamour, the chains, the diamonds, the cars, and y'all be thinking everybody just happy because everybody's millionaires, but you don't understand the sacrifices these guys have to make. You don't know about the stress the record label put on them. You don't know when they got to go tour, they got to do this, they got to do that. Think about how you feel every day when you got to go to work and you're stressed out and you got to deal with the BS every day. Now think about what they got to do. Remember, more money. You got to do a lot. And in that industry, you got to sacrifice your soul. Let's listen.
They think I'm dumb. They don't know I see the plot.
Wow.
They think I'm dumb.
They think I'm dumb.
They don't know I see the plot.
Wow.
Born this change the change. Bang came with the change. He born this change the change.
Pay attention, fam. Pay attention to the bars. I had to edit this up and speed it up. Let's go.
With the change, he born this change the change. Bang came with the change. You get a strike for a stain. You about to crack. 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 Such a lane. Your umbrella out of the rose was color in North Kane. Such a lane. Your umbrella out of the rose was color in North Kane. Such a lane. Your umbrella out of the rose was color in North Kane with the rain. No link with the rain. No link with the brain. No letterman, I've been a veteran. Do anything for a name.
Anything for a name.
Letterman, I've been a veteran. Do anything for a name. When you start getting a little change, watch how your partners and everything change.
When you get a little change, your partners are gonna change.
And when you step foot in that field, make sure you strap it, make sure you got aim. Like when you start getting a little change, watch how your partners and everything change. And when you step foot in that field, make sure you strap it, make sure you got aim. Like when you start getting a little change, watch how your partners and everything change. And when you step foot in that field, make sure you strap it, make sure you got aim.
Are y'all peeping the bars and the lyrics that he's spitting? Or did it just go right over your head? Because see, in that song, nothing changed. He's letting you know that he knows what's coming. He knows. Because everything in that song is exactly what happened to him. Trust and believe, fam. This is serious business. Let's go. Let's look at the lyrics. Because a lot of people, it just went over your head. He said, when you start getting a little change, watch how your partners and everything change. And when you step foot in that field, make sure you're strapped and make sure you got aim. My niggas, they shooting to live. I seen some niggas, they shooting for fame. You see, they deleted TAKEOFF for fame and fortune. Are you peeping the game? Look, I am breaking this thing down. No one on YouTube have broken this thing down like this. No one. The least you can do is get the likes up. You got over 500 in the building and I only have 109 likes. Come on. You could do better than that. This is a lot of work to put together. Now, he said, when you start getting a little change, watch how your partners and everything change. Isn't that what happened? That's exactly what happened. And when you step foot in that field, what field he's talking about? He's talking about the bowling alley. The bowling alley. He's talking about when he was in 5th Ward. When you step in that field. What field? The concrete jungle. He said, make sure you're strapped and make sure you got aim. But see, them brothers wasn't strapped. They weren't ready. He says, my ninjas, they shootin' to live. In other words, we shootin' to live. Right? I seen some ninjas, they shootin' for fame. You see, all those guys that were at that bowling alley that were shooting, they weren't shooting to live. They were shooting for fame and fortune because it's a part of the sacrifice, the blood rituals. They weren't shooting to live. No, they was shooting to take TAKEOFF out as a blood sacrifice for fortune and fame. And TAKEOFF put it in his lyrics just so you can know what they did. You see that? But notice what he said. He said in the next sentence, they don't know that this is real. That's how you end up getting blown out your brains. That's exactly what happened to him. That's exactly what happened to TAKEOFF. He got his brains blown out because ish got real. See, I'm trying to show you the blood sacrifice rituals in a way where there is no denying anything. I know it'll bother you inside. Some of you will be getting chills and goosebumps and all sorts of stuff, and it sounds dramatic. This stuff is real. These things happen. And the lyrics alone is very telling of what took place. He says, the money, the cars, the chains and fame, I give it up. I give up everything. Why? To see my grandmother. See, TAKEOFF always had a lot of love for his grandmother. He said, I'll give up all of this. See, he wanted to get out of the industry. He knew that the sacrifice was coming. He knew that they were plotting against him. He knew. That's why he made it very clear. The money, the cars, the chains and fame, I'll give it all up. Basically, I'll give it up. Why? To see my grandma. Just to see my Ken Pekka. I don't know what that means. The drugs can't heal all the pain. No cap. Now, you notice he smoked a lot of weed. He drank. Why? To cover the pain. It's in his words. He's telling you the drugs. So it's not just weed, drugs. The drugs can't heal all the pain. The money can't heal the pain. Sex with women can't heal the pain. He said, I'll give up the car, the money, the chains, the fame, just to see my grandma. He was trying to get up on out of here. He wanted to get out the industry. Trust and believe, TAKEOFF wanted out. He didn't want to remain in the industry no more. I even heard word that he wanted to leave and be on his own. But he was in that contract. You see what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie. That verse in that song was the best verse in the whole song. I mean, of course, Quavo get props because he's good too. You know what I mean? You can't take that away from him. But at the same time, when you hear TAKEOFF rap, he got better and better. His flow got better and better. It improved. You know? He wanted out the industry. He was stressed out, y'all. I'm telling you, this guy, he was stressed out. Y'all see the money and the fame and y'all don't realize. Listen, fam, listen to me very carefully here. I need to speak to you so that you can understand. A lot of you want to get money. You want to get fame. You want to get this. I'm here to tell you, when you get all of that, you're going to be very lonely. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be very lonely because it's going to be good at the beginning, but you're going to get so accustomed to it that you're going to be like, man, is there anything more? And this is why most people that got money, they get on drugs. And then they end up destroying their whole life. TAKEOFF was tired of the industry. He was tired of what was going on. There was too much jealousy in the Migos. Offset was beefing with them. Quavo have a lot of arrogance and, you know, he just want to control everything. And he didn't allow TAKEOFF to be who he wanted to be. He always wanted to control everything, made him feel like he wasn't his own man. So they basically lined them up. But he knew it was coming. He just didn't know when. He knew it was coming because he had the intuition to know that somebody was plotting. He just didn't know when it was going to happen. And they planned this thing out allegedly very well. But they were sloppy. It was messy. I'm hoping that you're able to comprehend this particular stream, because this is very, very important. So let's get back into this. I just wanted to put the lyrics on the screen so y'all can all see that and get an understanding of what's going on here. Let's go.
They shooting to live. I see some, they shooting for fame. They don't know that it get real. That's how you end up getting blown out your brain. They shooting to live. I see some, they shooting for fame. They don't know that it get real. That's how you end up getting blown out your brain.
That's exactly what happened to the brother. His brains was blown out. You understand? He didn't know the day nor the hour when they were gonna execute the sacrifice, but he knew. Sad situation, right?
The money, the cars, the chains, and fame, I give up everything. To see my grandmother, to see my configure the drug and heal out of pain. Money, the cars, the chains, and fame, I give up everything. To see my grandmother, to see my configure the drug and heal out of pain. I get you knocked off of earth, you play with my body, you play with my name. I put him up like he surfed, if he looking strange, I pop at his brain. I'm rocking a watch with no diamonds in it, it cost me a ticket, it's plain. I put baguettes in the paddock, what time is it, and it cost me a rose insane. I don't post pics with sticks, and that's how them boys get framed.
Are you listening to what he just said right there? I don't think you caught that piece. Let's put the lyrics back up on the screen. Because he said something in there at the bottom second to last sentence. He says, I don't post pics with sticks and ish. That's how them boys get framed, fool. Do anybody know what he's talking about? I don't post pics with sticks and ish. That's how them boys get framed. Do anybody know what he's talking about? I mean, how else could you get framed? Because a lot of these rappers, they love posting pictures with things in them. There you go. Guns. Because a lot of people do that, and that's how you get framed. You put these guns and other junk, guns, drugs, money, all of that stuff, that's how you get framed. They end up taking those pictures, and before you know it, the feds got something on you. Now they breaking in your door looking for those weapons. Now they breaking in your door looking for the guns. And if you think about it, you never seen him really doing no type of dirt and nonsense, you know? But see, he knew. I can guarantee you that TAKEOFF knew that there was going to be a plot against him. He knew that. He was not dumb. TAKEOFF was the smartest in the entire group. He knew exactly what was coming down the pipeline. It's crazy. Crazy situation.
I've been the same since a jit, little bitch. When they see me, they say, "None of the chamber."
Born this change to change. Fame came with the change. He born this change to change. Fame came with the change. He born this change to change. Fame came with the change. You get a strike for a stain. You about to crack. 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 Such a lane. The umbrella out of the rose was colored in North Kane. Such a lane. The umbrella out of the rose was colored in North Kane. Such a lane. The umbrella out of the rose was colored in North Kane with the rain. No link with the rain. No link with the rain. No letterman. I've been a veteran. Do anything for a name.
See, a lot of these rappers will do anything for a name. They'll do anything for a name, anything for fame.
Letterman, I've been a veteran. Do anything for a name. When you start getting a little change, watch out your partners and everything change. And when you step foot in that field, make sure you strap it, make sure you got aim. When you start getting a little change, watch out your partners and everything change.
When you start getting a little change, that's when your partners and everything change. And he looked right at Quavo when he was saying that during that song. He looked right at him because he knew. He knew. Now that we getting this money and it's getting real, now everything changed. It's crazy, right? See, my hope is that you folks will understand that this entire ordeal with TAKEOFF is going to be swept under the rug. I need for you to understand that. They're not going to find nobody. Because the people that were at that bowling alley, Mob Ties, Jay Prince Jr. and his team, they're most likely on an island somewhere relaxing, far away. You understand? They're not gonna go and question them because the father have a lot of power in the streets and allegedly with law enforcement and possibly with the mayor. Ain't no telling. Y'all remember the broadcast of the police chief that I did that video with the police chief, and he said that he have a lot of respect for the hip hop game and he knows certain people. He's basically telling on himself. So don't expect any arrests because it's not going to happen. Now, the only way it can possibly happen is if you, the people, make noise about it. You know, I'm trying to show you the breakdown. So now if you watch my other sacrifice video of the Messi video and you combine what you saw in that video with this breakdown, you see the timeline of events, and you'll know that TAKEOFF knew that they were plotting against him. He couldn't get out of it. See, a lot of you folks, you have to understand, in the industry, they plot against you, but you can't go nowhere because you're under the contract. You're locked in. It ain't like he could go hide somewhere. He got to report back. He's under contract. He got to make this music, even when he don't feel like doing it. Do you understand me? Do you know how many rappers are under these contracts and they don't feel like going to the studio, but they got to go? They sold their soul. As sad as it sounds, you have to understand what I mean. You remember how Diddy did his artists, putting them in 10-year contracts. 10-year contracts. And see, when you see the money, you ain't thinking about, yo, you got to be down with these people for 10 years and put out a certain amount of albums. That's a lot of work, bro. That's a lot of responsibility. And you got to, every year when you put out a new album, you got to stay sharp and relevant with the competition. That can be very stressful. When you listen to the radio and everybody got hit records and you got to get into the studio and produce. And if you don't, you know, it's going to end up falling back on you because now you're going to owe the record label more money. So TAKEOFF was stressed out. That's why he said the drugs and you know, everything else can't take away the pain. He said, I would give up my money, my cars, jewelry, just to see my grandma. If I could just see my grandmother, man, it'll just make me happy. That's what he basically said. See, a lot of us, we see them driving around Bentley, Rolls Royce, and we like, man, this brother chilling. Diamonds, Balenciagas, all this stylish designer. And you think everybody happy, and it's not that way, man. A lot of brothers be sad, man. You got a lot of people that got paper and they're depressed. They wake up every morning, they could buy anything they want, but what does it profit you to gain the whole world and lose your soul? Imagine having all the money in the world, you could buy whatever you want. You got everything already. What else is there now? What about when you got all the cars, all the clothes, all the fine women, all the jewelry? You don't have no need of nothing. You know what happens to your life? It becomes boring. And that's where a lot of people be. A lot of rich cats be very depressed. They don't got nobody to talk to, and it's the same routine every day. A lot of fake friends around you. Think about how many fake friends TAKEOFF may have had around him. People that just wanted money. They didn't really rock with him. They just wanted money. You know? That's why they smoked drugs so much, man. That's why they were on. That's why them dudes was high all the time. Ain't nothing else to do but smoke and drink. It's crazy, fam.
And when you step foot in that field, make sure you strap it, make sure you got aim. Like when you start getting a little change, watch how your partners and everything change. And when you step foot in that field, make sure you strap it, make sure you got aim.
He said, make sure that when you step in that field, that you're strapped and you got aim. Why? Because you know they plotting against you. He went with his uncle to 5th Ward, but they weren't strapped. And they didn't have no good aim. So he rapped prophetically about what was happening to him. Listen.
They shooting to live. I see some, they shooting for fame. They don't know that it get real. That's how you end up getting blown out your brain.
Wow.
They shooting to live. I see some, they shooting for fame. They don't know that it get real. That's how you end up getting blown out your brain.
Wow. He said he sees some ninjas. He know ninjas that shoot to live. But then he knows some other ninjas that shoot for fame. See, they took him out for fame and fortune, not because they were trying to live. They took him out as a sacrifice. Sad, man. Let's go.
The car, the chains, and fame, I give up everything. To see my grandma, to see my can pick up the drug, can't heal a lot of pain. Money, the car, the chains, and fame, I give up everything. To see my grandma, to see my can pick up the drug, can't heal a lot of pain.
See, at that moment while he on that stage, he's in pain. And he don't even want to be near Quavo. Listen, a lot of you folks, you see the performances, you see the stage, you see the lights, and you be thinking that these guys really are having fun. And a lot of times they don't even want to be on the stage, man. They got to just do it because, again, these are the sacrifices you got to make if you want to be in that industry. Sometimes you be in a rap group and you don't even like your other team players in the group. You don't even like them. But you got to do what you got to do because you're signed to the label. You got to get that album out. Why do you think they wear the dark shades all the time? Because they can't even face each other. They can't even face each other. But they got to perform Look at how he was rapping, and he said, I'll give away my car, my house, everything just to see my grandma. The man is hurting. That man was broken. And all the while, his uncle allegedly is lining them up. And I don't care what nobody say, man. You gotta peep the game, man. Trying to show you this, man. TAKEOFF was not happy, bro. TAKEOFF was not happy in the group. And you could feel his lyrics. You could feel the vibe. And it's sad that he had to go out that way because he knew something was coming. He knew it. He just didn't know when. You understand? He said he want to see his grandma. So I think it's safe to say that he's with his grandma. He got his wish.
I get you knocked off of earth, you play with my body, you play with my name. I put him up like he served, if you looking strange, I pop at his brain. I'm rocking a watch with no diamonds in it, it cost me a ticket, it's plain. I put baguettes in the paddock with time is it, and it cost me a rose insane. I don't post pics with sticks, and that's how them boys get framed. I've been the same since a jit, little bitch, when they see me they say,
wow. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Quavo allegedly plotted against his brother. Because TAKEOFF is the rocket. And when you understand the rocket at liftoff, it goes up and it separates. That's why they created the Rocket Foundation in memory of TAKEOFF. They had this thing all planned. See, when that rocket goes up, the rocket has to separate so the shuttle can continue on its own. So basically, there had to be a separation. Do you understand me? And they knew what they were doing, allegedly. Allegedly. All I'm looking for is justice. Justice for TAKEOFF. Justice for TAKEOFF. We can't let them get away. Because normally in the industry, they always get away with these blood sacrifices. They get away all the time. They close up all the doors. Everybody's in cahoots. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the blood sacrifice rituals, everybody in the industry benefits from this. It is not just a thing of, oh, Quavo's the only one who allegedly benefits. The industry requires blood. That's how it works. Do you know that every major movie that is released, somebody always dies on set? Y'all need to do y'all research about this, man. Every major movie that is released, I'm talking about big movies, somebody always die on set. You ever wonder why? Those are the blood sacrifices. That's the blood sacrifice. Somebody had to be offered. Sad, it's crazy. You understand? And you know, a lot of these artists, they get their so-called star plaque in Hollywood, the Walk of Fame, the star that be on the ground, that's the Baphomet. When they put your name on the ground with the star, that's the Baphomet star. And a lot of artists, a lot of actors, they all sold their souls already. They know about the rituals. All your favorite actors that you love, trust and believe, they have to participate. And the ones that don't, they get blacklisted and nobody won't work with them in Hollywood. Do you understand? Yeah, I already covered the Messy video. That pretty much exposed the fullness of the plot. Remember, there's a contract. So basically, Takeoff is being used or was used by Quavo and Offset to get to where they are right now. Because without Takeoff, they would have never been able to have success. Takeoff is the muscle, or was the muscle, behind the Migos. And they felt they don't need them no more because they figure they got money, they're established. But what they don't realize is the Migos is no more without Takeoff. And they're going to learn the hard way. But I can guarantee you that Quavo and Offset are going to get back together. When all of this stuff cool down, they're going to come back together. You know? Because that was the goal. That was the goal, because they knew they couldn't overpower Takeoff. He wasn't having that. He was very outspoken against them. We just saw the diamonds, but you didn't see the fights. And remember what Quavo said in his letter. He said, if they did fight, he said that Quavo was always wrong. He admitted that if he was to argue with Takeoff, he knew that he himself was wrong, not Takeoff. They wanted him out the way. Allegedly. Let's go. And this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to go to the next level. So they used him. They used his excellence, his brilliance, his talent to get to the next level. And now they figure they don't need him anymore. The rocket and the craft to get these two guys to the next level. Are you seeing this, people? Offset and Quavo are aboard the shuttle. Takeoff is the rocket. When it reaches a certain level, they're going to detach the rocket, and that equals the blood sacrifice. Right? A lot of people that are in the dark, they're going to remain blind because they're ignorant of the truth. But see, at the round table of the record labels, they knew when they put together Takeoff and they called him the Rocket. They knew what his purpose was. His purpose was to get these two guys, Quavo and Offset, to the next level. But eventually, they was going to make him go. That's right. I need for you to understand. Even on the obituary, people, look at the rocket and look at the shuttlecraft. Y'all think that I'm making this up? This was planned. Look at that. They put it in the obituary. The shuttle and the rocket together. You can't see the formation of this? The galaxies. You can't see this? It's in plain sight. I'm trying to show you, people. Listen, there are things that I see. I can see things. And it's scary sometimes when I see things. Look at it. I'm showing you it, and they did this. Listen, I was not there, so how could I have known all of this? Man, I tell you, this is crazy. He was the rocket. But now the shuttlecraft can go where it needs to go. And the shuttlecraft can get back to Earth by itself. Wow, that's crazy. Now, Quavo and Offset can now go to other galaxies now. And they didn't plan on taking TAKEOFF with them. They didn't plan on taking him with them. They knew what his role was. His role was just to take off. That's it. I'm trying to break this thing down in a story-like manner to help cause you to absorb the truth. It's crazy. Wow. It's amazing. See, at that record label, they had this all planned. See, it's the hidden hands that you can't see that control all the strings. And this is why they created the Rocket Foundation. And they claim that that foundation is in honor of TAKEOFF, but really it's just a money grab. They claim that that foundation is designed to stop gun violence. It's a lie. You can't stop gun violence by donating money. That just goes to somebody's pocket and helps them to live a great life. In order to stop gun violence, we need good parents, and we need fathers in the home, and we need to be active in our children's lives so that they don't resort to being in gangs and being in the street all day, but have a productive life. We need to give these kids more programs to get involved in to keep them off the streets. That's how you stop gun violence. You got to educate these kids. You got to educate them. You got to give them something worth living for. Most of them don't have anything. Sometimes they just need somebody to talk to, somebody to listen. You see that? See the shuttle? They knew what they had planned, fam. It's interesting how he passed away on I think it was 11/1/22. And then his funeral is on 11/11. I'm telling you, this the number game is serious. Hope everybody learned something from the stream.
You guys, I think TAKEOFF just quit the group.
Now you have to go back. You have to go to bathroom, you ass.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. If I go to jail with anybody, I'd love to go to jail with TAKEOFF. TAKEOFF ain't gonna say nothing. You hear me? Time, just right in time for the end, TAKEOFF.
Excuse me, my bad, pardon me.
He had to go to the bathroom, so he just got up and left and then came back. You know why he could do that? Because he's actually the damn boss in the group. And they knew that. He was able to just get up and just do whatever he want, even though he the one that's quiet. They know he the muscle in the group. He the boss. Wow. It's amazing, right? And that manager guy with the dark shades that was there, I don't trust him. As soon as I look at him, I get a bad vibe, like something ain't right with him. We're gonna have to do some investigation on him too. He seems dirty to me. The Stargate. The Stargate at the memorial. Yeah. You see, ladies and gentlemen, when they do the blood sacrifice, They do these things right before you, and you think that this is just some decorative things. No, this is the rituals. And everybody's involved. You must understand, the industry calls for blood. This is why a lot of people don't like me, because I'm able to see what they can't see. And this was done in everybody's face, and yet nobody understood. You see, ladies and gentlemen, that's the portal when you offer up the spirits. That connects with the energy in the room. You have to understand, everything is about energy. So when you have all those souls gathered together, the energy in that room is very, very high. And when everybody is emotional, that energy has a spirit. Yes. You see, the truth is right in your face. TAKEOFF was the black sheep, the sacrifice. Why is Justin Bieber and Drake wearing the same exact coat? You know what's interesting about this is that Mob Ties was in the building because Drake is connected to Mob Ties. But yet nobody had anything to say to Drake. They allowed people inside of that building that under normal circumstances, TAKEOFF wouldn't want around. Do you know that? Do y'all know that the people that they allowed in the building, TAKEOFF wouldn't have wanted around? I'm telling you, man. Another thing you got to understand about these sacrifices is the artists that they use, they're in training to understand the rituals. So they got to do these things. They got to go. In other words, when the blood sacrifice happened, they call Bieber and they tell him it's time for you to report for duty. And he got to stop everything he's doing to report. You have to understand, these guys have lives, they have schedules. So to stop everything they're doing to go do this, trust and believe, they got that call. TAKEOFF was the black sheep, offered up as a sacrifice. And he knew that one of these days they were going to take him out. And as much as we view the stream and we're listening, I need for you to understand that there's no investigation. There's no investigation happening right now. If you think that they're investigating this, think again. They have totally thrown that under the rug. The way they're looking at this, it's one big mess. If they were to look at the tapes, everybody's going to jail. I'm talking about the whole Prince family going to jail. Quavo's going to jail. Everybody's going to jail. And they're looking at this as a mess. One big mess. You understand? It's crazy. Imagine being the black sheep. And you got Mob Ties in the building and the audience have no idea that Mob Ties is in the building, and you know Drake is going to report right back to J. Prince Jr. and let him know exactly what went down. See, y'all are sleeping, man. Y'all forgot that Drake is a part of Mob Ties. They brought him in. He's loyal to them. You don't think he went there to report? He was an agent sent. He got behind the gates. So after the show, he's able to report and say, hey, everything is done. We did it. You see that? You think he wanted to be there? No. But he had to go there because a lot of people are his fans. So they just kind of let him in the building, and they figure, hey, that's Drake, not realizing that he's a part of Mob Ties too. And all of those guys, they worship Satan. You have to understand that. They know about the rituals. They know about what they got to do. They got to do the pledges. They got to deliver blood. They understand what they got to do. To have success in the industry, they know what they got to do. You know, it is what it is. The portal, the Stargate, where demons come through, where they take your energy and offer it to darkness in exchange for fortune and fame. Are you paying attention, people? Listen, these people, man, when I tell you they deal with a lot of darkness, man, it's sad. It's really sad. You got 896 people in here. All of this work that I've done, all this information I shared, and I only have 276 likes. I'm convinced that our people hate their own people. I'm convinced. There's no reason that I should have 200 likes and there's over 900 people watching this show. See, this is why a lot of people that have talent and abilities and greatness in them are unable to grow. It's because the people don't want them to grow. They don't. Something as simple as clicking the like button. All this information shared. I broke everything down, broke down the videos. Do you understand how much I got to deal with just to provide you this stream? Man, the least you can do is click the like button. It's not that hard to do. So now, you're gonna see these two working together soon. You're gonna see these two working together. Trust and believe that. And it's my personal belief that the breakup happened to cause some issues so that those two could get back together. It's crazy, right? Because now they're going to be able to do things that TAKEOFF didn't want. You have to understand how this thing goes. TAKEOFF probably didn't want them to do certain things with the image and the lyrics, and now they're going to do something totally different. You're going to see a change. Trust and believe that. You're going to see a change. So, that being said, y'all, appreciate everybody coming through. It is what it is. This is Migos TAKEOFF Blood Sacrifice, allegedly, by Quavo and J. Prince Jr. Because those guys were there at the shooting and they all know each other. They all hanged out in Fifth Ward. They all know about what's going on. There is no reason that TAKEOFF didn't have justice already. There's no reason for no arrest. We should have arrest already. The people of Houston should rise up and make noise and demand justice. The people in Georgia should rise up and demand justice and make a lot of noise, a lot. Because at the rate this thing is going, they're gonna brush this under the rug, and it's gonna wither away, and everything that TAKEOFF have done will be forgotten. Don't let that happen. Don't let them rob him of that. Don't let them do that. So that being said, fam, make sure you rate the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel today, and click the notification bell for all, so that when we go live or drop a video, you're able to get that notification. A lot of times people complain about, oh, I didn't get notified because you didn't click all. You got to click all. All right, fam. So it is what it is. I'm going to get on out of here. So you already done know how we're going to end this thing off. We're going to end it off with these ninjas. Let's go.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. They moving funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny.
They moving funny.
Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny now. Ninjas out here moving kinda funny. Ninjas
we out of here, fam. It is
funny
what it is.
Ninjas
we
out here moving kinda funny.
Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $RingoTV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions,
The only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.